Hello and welcome to Hindustan Times Online, DC Martini. My name is Sandeep. Right now I have with me the wonderful Mr. Indraneil Sengupta. Hello, Indraneil, and welcome to the podcast. Indraneil, at the very outset, firstly, what are you doing right now? I mean, where are you and where are you heading to?
Yeah, I have come here for some work. It's around 2.5 hours away from Bombay. It's called Gurgaon. I'm coming from. Yeah, no,
Murgaon.
I'm
So
out.
you're there for some work or for shooting? Because that's where, most of the shoots happen.
Yeah, shooting related work. Yeah, yeah.
All right, okay. Indraneil, the very first question that actually comes to my mind, especially after I kind of have been a part of the press conference, was the fact that the entire series has been shot indoors and the
Yeah,
entire series has been shot by you guys on cameras. How did
yeah.
that actually come to pass, and how did you, how did you kind of wield your way towards doing it? Especially because you're always habituated to being in front of the camera, and now you're actually doing doing both the things together.
Yeah. So I don't think being behind the camera only being behind the camera would have been that difficult. But this balancing of being in front of the camera and also taking care of the camera was a very tough job. Of course, my wife Barsha, she has this every actor who has been on this show. Help them with the camera, but yeah, it was a very tough job. But I think the director Nikhil and our DOP Piyush, they have really been always there, always guiding us over phone calls and video calls, and that's how we managed to pull off. And I think we have done a decent job of it.
When I saw the little bit of portions that were shown to us yesterday, I mean, I guess the first and second episode that were shown to us, the media yesterday. What intrigued me was the sheer professionalism and the wonderful quality that actually came across uh, in the entire series,
Yes.
especially, the distancing from the foreground to the background and the background bouquet and focusing on the character between two sheets and all of that. How was all of that done? How did you manage? I mean, was it a constant, on the internet, you've got to be with the art director and the DOP for that matter, and then they will be kind of, or you're perhaps clicking pictures and sending to, how was that happening? Because it all looked as
Yeah,
though it was all
that
meant to be that way.
that was that was exactly happening in the same way as you mentioned. Actually, we did a prep work which was very extensive before the shoot is even started. So we had one-on-one session with the DOP. Like I had a session, my wife had a session with him. So because she was going to handle the camera, so he explained everything as to what kind of shots are we taking, sent us reference shots. Then we tried out different places in the room and in the house with different kinds of lighting, whatever lighting was available at home, because we didn't have the luxury of any additional professional lights. So it was very well planned, and even when we are shooting, he is guiding us to checking frames and approving of some of it. So that way we have figured out and tried and tested, and I guess the final result doesn't look like it has been shot in such restrictive conditions. But yeah, so it's
Exactly.
only because it's because of the extremely professional team effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got to tell me a little bit about your character in the show, as in, what is all your
Yeah,
character about?
I can only give you the basics. I can't tell you much about anything without giving out important information. So I'll stick to this, that I am playing this role of Pratik. Pratik is a doctor by profession, and he's a friend of Sahil Gujral, who is the center of the whole discussion that Sahil mar gaya hai. So Sahil is being played by Arjun Mathur, and I'm a very close friend of his. So I'm also close to the family. So I know the entire Gujral family. And
Okay.
since the story is also centered around the Gujral families, that's how Pratik is important in context of the whole story. More than that, I cannot say much right now.
Okay, all right. So let's just meander away from Gone Game and towards your personal life. Firstly, you got to tell me, how has the lockdown been treating you?
Lockdown has not been that bad. As such, I'm not a very social person. So it hasn't affected me as much, that not being able to go out and meet friends or whatever. So that hasn't affected much. Of course, work on the work front, first couple of months, there was really no work happening in the industry. We needed time to figure out, the industry needed time to figure out that you can actually sit at home and shoot content, which we have done finally. So yeah, so otherwise, I have had a great time spending I've quality time with my family, with my daughter, with my wife, and my wife has cooked some wonderful food throughout the lockdown, which I have enjoyed. I have spent some great time with my daughter, taking care of her studies, also playing with her, watching movies, family movies. That's happened a lot. And creatively, I have read quite and watched a lot of content on TV. And I was always interested in photography, but I think in the last 4 months, I have been more active with the time. So yeah, I have uh, improved as a photographer, I think, over this period of time.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Okay. Indraneil, you began your journey with the Glad Rags Manhunt,
right.
and today, where you kind of see yourself, are you in a happy space?
Yeah, I have always been in a happy space throughout. I mean, today, the most important thing is that we should always feel that today I'm better than yesterday, which I always felt. I feel today also that today what I am is better than what I was yesterday. So that means that I'm happy with the kind of in the direction I'm going. Uh, my progress has been very gradual, not
Hmm.
like not too fast, or like I didn't arrive at the scene and like created a whole news around it. That hasn't happened, but I'm happy the way my life has progressed, and I'm happy with the kind of work I am getting. And right now, the work scenario is superb for actors, and I'm glad that I'm being considered for different kinds of roles, and I'm happy about it.
So now, since you kind of told me as in what are the main criteria that actually go beyond you choosing a particular script and doing a particular film for that matter, you've got to tell me that you are definitely an outsider in the industry as far as the Hindi film scenario is concerned. You're definitely seen a lot more on the television scene than in the films.
Right.
What do
Right.
you think is the reason behind that lapse?
Well, I don't know. I don't know why it is so. I would definitely want to work and wish to work more in cinema and also web space. Uh, but as of date, I have got more work on television than on the big screen. I don't really know the reason. That's all right. I mean, some maybe it's luck. Maybe I didn't fit the bill somewhere. I don't know.
Is it because of the ongoing debate that is actually going on right now, especially
I
on the
I
social media?
I really don't think so. I don't think so. That's a valid
Don't tell me
reason.
you never faced nepotism, because whoever I spoke to, whoever I had a word with, especially on the social media platforms, everybody's told me, they have at some point in time or the other have faced this favoritism thing where they had been a part of this particular audition, and they were considered to be absolutely perfect for the role, and then they had to be suddenly replaced by people with quote unquote connections.
Honestly, I haven't. I haven't faced. I haven't been replaced by anyone who's connected. But definitely, it has happened that I have auditioned and the audition has gone off well, but I have not been chosen. Someone else has been chosen, but then that's all right. It's there are so many. Uh, See, it's a medium. It's a field which is qualitative. It is not quantitative, right? So it's not that I have got 100 out of 100 and you have got 98, so I need to get the chance. It's not like that. It's like whether you like me or you don't like me, or whether you like someone more than subjective. We can't be fighting about it. I like you, I don't like you. I like you more as an actor. I don't like you as much as an actor. How will you debate it? You can't debate it. It's qualitative. So I don't think it's worth it to get into this discussion and make an issue out of it. I don't think so. That's how I feel about the whole thing.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So, Indraneil, also you've got to tell me what are the main, I mean, for instance, if you've said yes to Gone Game, what was perhaps one of the most intriguing factors for you to say yes to it?
I thought it was the whole concept was so unique that they were trying to do a lockdown shoot lockdown story during the lockdown to be done by the actors themselves without any physical contact with anyone else in the unit, without having met the actors, the director, or the DOP, just over the phone. It sounded very challenging, but it also is an opportunity to do something which would be on Indian screen. So yeah, who doesn't want to be a part of a path-breaking kind of thing? So yeah, that was the most interesting.
Also, when we're talking about web series, when we're talking about the OTT platforms and the kind of shows that are actually coming up, and nowadays, especially with so many different web platforms that are cropping up, like left, right, and center, there is a lot of, when we're talking about sex and sleaze, there's a lot of cramming in of everything that's, sexually exploitative or sexually more voyeuristic for that, for that matter. Excuse me. Everything is more voyeuristic for that matter. What do you have to see on that? And you have been a part of a few web series as well.
Right. I feel that yeah, they have taken it a little too far. I feel that. I feel the web space gives you the ability to depict sex in a much more open way than maybe a television or cinema. Cinema has to be rated and all that. But to use it to make it as an attractive project, to use the titillation as the selling point is something which is not right. I mean, it looked like this is how it's going to be. It looked like this is the order of the day, but I have realized that it is not actually something which is not.
And one project that I can not really take out of my mind was or is Rituporno Ghosh's Aarekti Premer Golpo. Not it didn't really belong. It wasn't really directed by Rituporno, but you were there in the film and you had quite a big meaty part in the film. You were playing Chapal Bhaduri's lover. What was the entire brief that was given to you?
No, so even that was like, I used to be in Bombay that time because I was busy doing television. And once I was signed for this film, they told me, narrated the story. And after that, again, the whole script reading and the whole prepping for the role was mostly done over the phone with Ritu and Kaushik talking to me almost every day for a couple of hours. They sent me some reference foreign films to get an idea of the whole atmosphere that it would have. And so when I went there to shoot, because of my television commitments, I didn't have the luxury of spending more time there. So when I went the day before the shoot, because of the whole conversations and all. So yeah, it was a very challenging subject for me mentally, because to get into that space. But I still feel I would rate it as the best film I have been part of till date, because it's way deep as a film, and I like the film, and I like the performances, and I like my performance also in the film. So I think it will hold a very important position in my life. Sad that the DVDs were never out. So yeah, that was very sad.
Okay, but I had seen the film somewhere. I mean,
you probably on the net, probably on the must be on you or something. I don't know.
All right. So anyway, it was a lovely conversation with you, Indraneil. I really picked every part of it, and absolutely. Thank you so much. It was lovely talking.
Thank you. Thank you.